Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. When it comes to anti-aging, in 2026, things are more confusing than ever. We are constantly being bamboozled with new ingredients proclaiming themselves to be the latest innovation in anti-aging skincare, when in truth, very few ingredients actually have robust scientific data sitting behind them to prove that they have a meaningful impact on the age profile of our skin. Those ingredients do exist though, and in today's video, I want to focus in on them, share with you the proven anti-aging ingredients and the best products that fit each of them in order to help you guys streamline your routine and make sure you're using the ingredients that are going to deliver maximum results. Sit back, relax, let's talk the best proven anti-aging skincare. Now, in today's video, you might notice a few things different. We're mixing it up. We're halfway through 2026. I thought it's time for a little change in a mix-up. We've mixed up our microphone situation, so you'll have to let me know down in the comments if you can notice a difference in terms of the sound quality. Do you prefer it this way? Do you prefer the original style of videos, which is microphone-free? Let me know what your experience is, because ultimately I want to make these videos as enjoyable as possible for you guys. I've also mixed things up in terms of the thumbnail that you saw at the start of this video. Lots of people said that the original thumbnails were looking a little bit cluttered, a little bit hard to read and navigate, so I wanted to just streamline things down. Like I say, I'm always up for trying new things, but I want your feedback. What do you guys genuinely think? As always, whilst those things might be changing, the channel remains entirely sponsorship and paid partnership free. You'll never see an ad on Mad About Skin because I pride my independence above all else. So I speak from the heart and not the wallet. And if you want to support me as a truly independent skincare content creator, the best way of doing so is by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. The more likes the video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So it just means as many people as possible can discover our fabulous and growing Mad About Skin family. And for that, I'm always so grateful. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So when we talk about anti-aging, I think people are actually referring to two different things. First and foremost, the reduction in fine lines and wrinkles and an increase in firmness and elasticity in the skin, mostly achieved by boosting collagen and elastin production. But people also note that a reduction in hyperpigmentation and achieving a more even skin tone is also something that people strive for when they talk about anti-aging. In fact, in a recent study, when people were asked about their biggest skin insecurity as they aged, hyperpigmentation was the number one. So people are actually looking to achieve a more even skin tone above reducing fine lines and wrinkles. So we're going to look at both of these today. Let's start out with the best wrinkle reducing ingredients, those that can actually help smooth out the skin, lift and firm. Well, number one is always going to be retinoids. Retinoids are fantastic because they actually help boost collagen production, which is going to be great for minimizing those fine lines. But they also help structure the collagen that we have a little bit more strategically. So the collagen that we've already produced is just going to work a little bit better. It's going to be better organized to deliver greater results. This two-pronged attack is why retinoids are so important as a part of an anti-aging skincare routine. And they're the ones that have the biggest data set to sit behind them. Now, there's lots of different retinoids on the market. Some people might go for something high strength like this, which is tretinoin, probably the most studied skincare ingredient on planet Earth. And for 20 plus years, people have known that this is one of the biggest powerhouse ingredients when it comes to anti-aging. But it can cause sensitivity and irritation, and generally you'll need a prescription, so it's not going to be for everyone. But there are other options on the market. Take, for example, this. This is retinol. This is a fantastic over-the-counter option in terms of retinoids. It's still going to boost collagen and elastin production, still going to organize that collagen in a more strategic way, but does so with less side effects and irritation. And like I say, the accessibility is there because it's just so much easier to get something over the counter versus on prescription. This is the Medicate Crystal Retinol range, which I genuinely think is probably the best over-the-counter retinoid you're going to use. But there's lots of other options at different price points. I've listed some of my personal favorites down in the description box below. I'll leave some links there too. So if you want to explore different retinoid options, there's a whole host of different links there. And I would say whichever you go for, a retinoid should be your first go-to ingredient when it comes to effective anti-aging. Proven, data-driven, scientifically backed, and take it from someone that's been using retinoids for 5+ years, they genuinely work. Now, up next, when it comes to minimizing fine lines and wrinkles and boosting collagen, let's talk about peptides. Now, there are hundreds of different peptides, and it can get a little confusing because different concentrations, different peptide forms, different claims and counterclaims. It's a lot, but I think when it comes specifically to anti-aging, what you need to be using are copper peptides. Copper peptides, again, have quite a lot of data to sit behind them to prove just how effective they are in terms of minimizing fine lines and wrinkles through increased collagen production. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed and baffled by the array of peptides out there, just focus in on copper peptides because they're really going to be the ones that deliver the maximum benefit, particularly when it comes to anti-aging. They do this in two ways. So first and foremost, they trick the skin. So the presence of these copper peptides tricks the skin into believing there's been some sort of incident, some sort of wound occur, and it'll increase collagen production in order to counter that. However, when they break down in the skin, copper peptides actually produce or break down into the ingredients needed to produce that collagen. So see it as providing like the instruction manual to create that collagen and then all the ingredients that you need in order to bake the collagen cake. It's like a match made in heaven, which is why copper peptides are so effective. There are other peptides beside copper which do deliver anti-aging benefits, but I think to keep it super simple, let's just focus down on copper peptides and the benefits that they can bring. Now, there's a huge array of price options when it comes to copper peptides, and I actually did a bit of a showdown looking at some super affordable ones versus some really expensive options in a recent video. I'll dig that out and I'll leave a link to it up there. Check that out if you want to see like the budget versus the luxury to work out where you should be directing your hard-earned coin. Spoiler alert, you can do a lot on a budget when it comes to copper peptides. Now, last but by no means least in this proven to reduce fine lines and wrinkles category, we're going to talk about growth factors. Now, growth factors are actually a subset of peptides. They're a form of peptide, but often in the skincare community, in the skincare industry, they're treated as separate because they have a very specific mechanism of action. Growth factors are great for stimulating collagen renewal. They can also help with cellular repair, which is fantastic in terms of improving overall skin health. But again, boosting collagen to minimize fine lines and wrinkles. There are loads of different growth factors on the market, but generally they fall into three categories. Plant-derived, which do work, but there's not a lot of studies to sit behind them. They take a long time to show results. There are bioengineered, the ones that are created in labs designed to match the ones that are already present in our skin. They've got a lot of studies behind them and shown to be really effective. Then we've got the human-derived ones. These are quite controversial. They're probably the most effective, but they come with a sky-high price point. And like I say, they're quite a controversial choice. So personally, I would go for the lab-created, the biocompatible growth factors, the ones that are identical to the ones in our skin. The skin acknowledges that they're already there. You know, they expect them to be there. So when you add additional ones, they get to work straight away. And my personal favorite when you consider price point versus quality is the Medik8 Liquid Peptides Advanced. This is a peptide serum and a growth factor serum all in one. So even though it doesn't come with the cheapest price point, I see it as like a 2-for-1, which for me makes things super easy. It streamlines and you get your peptides alongside your growth factors in like the best multi-purpose serum. Those are my top 3 ingredients for minimizing fine lines and wrinkles, but that is just half the story. So everyone out there that's looking to reduce hyperpigmentation, dark spots and discoloration, and to achieve a more even skin tone, there are a couple of ingredients which are proven to deliver that. And again, I'm going to focus down on the over-the-counter options. There are some prescription strength things like hydroquinone, but they come with a lot of side effects and really should be used in conjunction with a medical professional in order to get the best results. Here, when we're talking about, you know, YouTube skincare content and the over-the-counter options, there are really 3 that I would rave about. Up first, we have azelaic acid. Now, azelaic acid is phenomenal in just about everyone's skincare routine. No matter what your skin goals are, anti-aging, reduction in fine lines and wrinkles, fading hyperpigmentation, firming and lifting, azelaic acid is going to form a key part of that for so many reasons. And I think azelaic acid works so well because it can genuinely be used by everyone. No matter what your skin type, tone, or level of sensitivity, there's an azelaic acid out there for you. And the key purpose of azelaic acid is to calm, soothe, and reduce inflammation. Inflammation is the #1 trigger for hyperpigmentation in the first place. So if we can reduce inflammation, we're going to reduce associated hyperpigmentation. It also turns off one of the receptors which the skin uses in order to produce excess pigment. So by turning that off, it's just going to normalize that pigment production, and over time you'll achieve a more even skin tone. It's great for glowing up the skin, and it also, because it calms and soothes and reduces redness, it can offset some of the side effects you might get from your other anti-aging actives such as retinoids or retinoids. It will really help reduce that down, so you'll just get a better overall experience from your skincare routine. azelaic acid is phenomenal, and it comes in generally 3 strengths: 10%, 15%, and 20%. 20%, which is like something like this, Skinnerin, is phenomenal, super high potency, you'll get great results, but can be a little prickling and sensitizing on the skin. So most people will be just able to use 10%, which is a universal strength everyone can use. And if you're consistent with it, you'll get some amazing, amazing results. You just have to have a little patience. Use it twice a day, 10% concentration over 2 months will show some game-changing results when it comes to fading hyperpigmentation. And my top tip is, if you want to boost your azelaic acid further, use the next ingredient on this list, which is tranexamic acid. So tranexamic acid, again, in its own right, phenomenal, reduces inflammation, has a very similar benefit profile to azelaic acid. But studies show, and after all, we're looking at studies here in today's video, science-backed results. Studies show if you use tranexamic acid and azelaic acid together, actually doubles the results you see versus just using one of them in isolation. So don't pick and choose. Use them together for the perfect hyperpigmentation fighting duo. Now, you can buy a separate azelaic acid serum and tranexamic acid serum, that's absolutely fine. Or you could choose an option that has them both together. This is something that I created to harness the power of these two actives. This is the Mad About Skin Dual Action Dark Spot Serum. 10% azelaic acid, suitable for everyone, every skin type, tone, and level of sensitivity, and 3% tranexamic acid, which studies show is one of the best concentrations in order to maximize the results you'll see without triggering any side effects. This is just a wonderful serum to slot into your skincare routine to get the benefits of azelaic and tranexamic acid all together in a formula that allows you to streamline, reduce the cost, because this is super inexpensive and you don't need 2 serums, whilst also maximizing the hyperpigmentation fighting results. What's not to love? And to kind of help you along the way just a little bit further, I've left a discount code for this down in the description box below, which will reduce the cost even further, meaning it's really inexpensive to fade your hyperpigmentation in 2026. Now, last but by no means least, when we're talking proven anti-aging, it won't be right to forget sunscreen. Sunscreen is the true non-negotiable ingredient that everyone needs in an anti-aging skincare routine. In fact, any skincare routine, because if you're not using your sunscreen, there's kind of no point doing anything else. Sun damage is the #1 trigger for premature aging. It also can damage cells, cause cancer. We just need to protect our skin. And so really, everybody should find a sunscreen that works with their budget, their skin tone, and of course the finish, the look and feel that they're wanting to achieve from that sunscreen. There are so many new generation sunscreens hitting the market all the time. Lots of choice, and I actually pulled all my favorites together in a recent video, which I'm going to dig out and leave up there. I'm here to say that if you're not using your sunscreen every single day, then there's kind of no point doing anything else that I've spoken about in this video. That's the foundation, and then you can build from there with all these other proven anti-aging ingredients. My sunscreen of the day at the moment is this. This is from my own line, the Mad About Skin Protect and Hydrate Sunscreen. Super lightweight, long wear, so you don't need to reapply this every 2 hours. This actually has a 6-hour wear time, which is great when I'm out and about during summer. Locked in all that protection and works as a moisturizer and an SPF all in one. So instead of using 2 products which weigh down the skin, I'm just using one. It leaves a really lightweight finish, which is what I'm looking for in those super warm summer months, like what we're having here in the UK at the moment. Whatever sunscreen you go for, make sure it's SPF 50 and broad spectrum. And honestly, that is going to be the best investment you make when it comes to anti-aging. So let me know your thoughts. What are your true non-negotiables when it comes to anti-aging? What are those ingredients that have worked best for you? Reach down into the comments section below and let me know. And wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.